So we help healthcare organizations to reduce health disparities with AI-driven insights. Ultimately, we're focused on enhancing health outcomes, regulatory compliance, as well as cost efficiency. I loved working with the Arionkoder team. They were fantastic. We're on a mission to advance health equity and improve health outcomes for all. So we help healthcare organizations to reduce health disparities with AI-driven insights and autonomous care navigation. Our platform proactively identifies barriers to care, lays out actionable pathways for social determinants of health, and helps to close the loop on resource referrals. Ultimately, we're focused on enhancing health outcomes, regulatory compliance, as well as cost efficiency. We've been an AI company since day one. We started with predictive analytics and machine learning to proactively identify people at a higher risk for social needs, everything from food insecurity to transportation challenges. We started with over 70 indicators where we could predict social risk, essentially. From there, we evolved to adding on NLP algorithms, where we can find references to social needs in clinical notes and unstructured data. So essentially, to put this into perspective, we can decrease the time that it would take a traditional chart review process of like 4 to 6 hours to less than a second. We've got like a handful of pretty amazing strategic partners, but we're continuing to grow and identify new partners that are interested in using Alvee and piloting, some of the newer solutions that we have. We're also in the process of closing out our seed round, so we're looking for 1 or 2 more investors to contribute about $500K to our $3 million round, and then really just sort of being able to focus on the next thing, then making sure that we're executing on our product roadmap and delivering the best features and products that we possibly can. We're also in the process of working on some new features really centered around elevating the platform and completely automating some of the resource referral workflows and helping to do more to close the loop on resource referrals themselves. I think that, one of the key challenges that we tackled with the Arionkoder team was how do we actually translate some of this technology into the clinical workflow? How do we make it so that the information that we're finding or sourcing or bringing to light can actually be used in a really practical way for the end user? And so I think that was like the one of the key things that we worked through with the Arionkoder team. And I think we were able to really make some huge strides and accomplishments in that regard, to actually provide an interface that is something that can be really useful to the end user. I think what's yet to be solved is just sort of continuing to execute on that. And, once we do have users start using the new features, getting their feedback and seeing how it works in the real world, so that we can continue to adapt and make changes so that it really does truly work, within their existing workflows. We had an amazing experience. The Arionkoder team was very dedicated to our project. And one of the things that I really love the most, not only just like working with the folks in the team in general, because everybody was lovely, but I could tell that everybody was very invested in Alvee and our company and our mission. It was sort of like they became an extension of us, which, it's not typical. I would say, like, you don't necessarily see that with other development groups, where they're that entrenched in your mission. Maybe they are from like the technical and product standpoint, but for us, it really is important to understand the problem that we're solving and what we're actually working towards, in order to understand the type of product and technology that needs to be built. And so I feel like that came across very clearly with the Arionkoder team. And I think that made it that much more successful because, people really understood, what we needed to build and why we were doing it in the first place. I love being able to have, a new challenge every day, and something new to work on, and ultimately be working towards, the same goal, but being able to kind of have that diversity and in my workday really helps to motivate me. So I feel like I was just sort of like built for this type of life. I loved working with the Arionkoder team. They were fantastic, and definitely would recommend others to work with Arionkoder. We're planning on continuing to work with the Arionkoder team on some future development projects as well, just because we really had such an amazing experience with them. As I mentioned, the team really bought into our company, our mission, and truly cared about the outcomes and what we're doing and what we're building. And so I feel like that was quite evident. And I've also worked with other development groups in the past, so it's not like I have things I can compare Arionkoder to, and I can say pretty positively that the Arionkoder team was definitely far above and beyond like my experience like with some of the other groups that I've worked with.